You have just walked through the front door. Maybe you have been gone for 2 hours, maybe less. It does not matter. Before you have put down your bag, before you have said a word, there is a warm, wet pressure across your cheek, then your chin. Then, if you are not quick enough, your mouth. Most people laugh and turn away and say something like, "You silly thing." They accept it as a greeting, as affection, as simply as what dogs do. What is actually happening is older than your dog, older than your house, and it carries a meaning that was never really about you at all. In the next few minutes, we're going to trace exactly where that lick comes from. Not in terms of your dog's feelings toward you, but in terms of what that behavior originally was, what it was designed to do, and why your dog redirected it toward your face specifically. There is one piece of this that I want you to stay for. Researchers studying how dogs respond to human emotions made a discovery about licking that had nothing to do with affection, and everything to do with how carefully your dog is reading you. We will get there. But first, the explanation most people stop at. The easy answer is that your dog licks your face because it loves you. It is happy to see you, and this is how it shows it. That is not wrong. But it is at best the surface of a much older story. Among wolves, the direct ancestors of every domestic dog alive today, pups lick their mother's face when she returns to the den, not as a greeting, as a request. The lick stimulates the adult to regurgitate food she has been carrying in her stomach back to the litter. It is a survival signal, precise, functional, and ancient. Wild canines developed a strong regurgitation reflex specifically because it was more practical for a mother to carry food internally than to drag prey back to the den in her mouth. The lick was the mechanism that released it. Your dog still carries that signal. It has simply never had a reason to stop. Here is where it becomes more layered. Puppies lick the corners of their mother's mouth as part of what researchers call epiphyletic behavior, care-soliciting actions that are hardwired into early development. They do it before their eyes are fully open, before they can walk properly. It is one of the first social behaviors they ever perform. What researchers have come to recognize over the past few decades is that this licking behavior carries information about dominance, intention, and state of mind. The current scientific consensus is that licking directed at another individual is primarily a pacifying behavior. And what all pacifying signals share is this: they contain elements of puppy-like behavior. Juvenile behavior is the canine equivalent of a white flag. Wolf experts call it active submission, a contact behavior in which signs of non-threat are communicated through crouching, muzzle licking, and tail tucking. These behaviors were first used by pups to elicit feeding from adults. In wolves, they are retained into adulthood by subordinate animals, where they function as a gesture of intimacy and an acceptance of social roles. Your dog, when it licks your face, is not simply expressing joy. It is reaching back into one of the most fundamental communications in canine social life and offering it to you. When dogs lick a human's face, they are communicating that they are friendly and non-threatening. Puppies carry this behavior forward with their humans because the humans typically respond with attention, affection, and warmth, which teaches the dog that this particular signal, directed at a person, continues to work. The behavior was preserved, not because dogs misunderstand what a human is, but because the signal itself was translated. Now, the part that changes how you look at your dog entirely. Researchers in the United Kingdom and Brazil studied the licking behavior of domestic dogs in response to human facial expressions. They exposed dogs to images of human faces, some positive, some angry, paired with corresponding audio cues. What they found was this: mouth licking occurred most consistently when dogs were shown an angry human face, not a happy one, not a neutral one, an angry one. The lead researcher, Natalia Albuquerque from the University of São Paulo, noted that mouth licking was triggered by visual cues only, facial expressions, not sounds. There was also a species effect. Dogs licked their mouths significantly more when looking at humans than when looking at other dogs. Think carefully about what that means. Your dog is not licking your face because it is overwhelmed with happiness and needs somewhere to put it. In many cases, it is licking because it has read something in your expression: tension, displeasure, tiredness. and it is offering the oldest pacifying signal it has, the one it was born knowing, the one that, in its original form, meant, I am not a threat. Please stay calm. I am with you. The researchers believe this behavior was likely selected during domestication, that the dogs most capable of perceiving and responding to human emotional expressions were the ones that fared best in close human company. Your dog is not just licking your face, it is managing your emotional state. And it has been doing it since before either of you was born. There is a simpler layer here worth addressing, because it comes up often, and the answer is more interesting than people expect. The common claim is that dogs lick faces because human skin is salty, and dogs like the taste. This explanation never quite held up under scrutiny. Dogs actually have fewer taste receptors for salt than humans do. And while salt receptors in humans extend around the full edge of the tongue, dogs have only two small strips of salt-responding taste buds along the sides of their tongues, with none at the tip. For an animal built around meat, the sodium in prey is sufficient. Salt seeking through human skin as a primary driver of licking behavior does not fit the biology. What your dog's tongue is doing much of the time is reading, gathering information. Your skin carries traces of everything your body has processed: stress hormones, the remnants of a meal, the particular chemistry of how you are today. Your dog is not tasting you, it is taking a reading. Now, the part worth paying close attention to. Not all licking is a greeting, and knowing the difference matters. Researchers and trainers refer to what is known as a lick to dismiss, a behavior that looks superficially identical to an affectionate lick but carries an entirely different message. A brief, perfunctory lick to the face or hand combined with a rigid body, visible white of the eye, and an attempt to turn or move away is not closeness. It is a signal that your dog wants distance, that it is tolerating something rather than welcoming it. If a dog you do not know licks you quickly and then leans back, that is not a kiss. It is a boundary, politely stated. And in your own dog, a sudden increase in licking behavior, particularly directed at themselves rather than at you, can indicate anxiety, discomfort, or pain presenting as a repetitive coping behavior. Excessive licking that is persistent and appears without an obvious cause is worth raising with your veterinarian, as it can point to underlying issues that are not immediately visible. Your dog's tongue is communicating something in every situation. The question is whether you are reading it as carefully as it is reading you. So the next time your dog meets you at the door and reaches for your face, you know what that is. A behavior that began as a survival mechanism between a wolf pup and its mother. That was carried forward across thousands of years of domestication into a social signal of the deepest kind. That was refined specifically toward human faces, toward human expressions. Because the dogs that could read your face and respond to it were the ones that stayed. It is not simply affection. It is not a habit. It is a language with a history far longer than the two of you have known each other. And somewhere in that wet, slightly inconvenient moment at your front door, your dog is saying the clearest thing it knows how to say. I see you. I am with you. Whatever is on your face right now, I am not afraid of it. Before you go, pay attention to the next time your dog licks your face. Notice what you were doing just before it happened, whether you were tense or tired or distracted. Tell me in the comments. Does your dog lick more when you are stressed, or is it indiscriminate? A lot of people notice a pattern when they start looking for it, and if you want to understand what else your dog is reading in your body and your voice, the specific signals they track that most owners never realize, that is the next video waiting for you.